Have you ever noticed how the most powerful shift in a relationship doesn't happen when a woman tries harder, but when she does less? Not cold, not distant, just still, radiant, software, and yet magnetic. He doesn't chase her because she chases him. He chases her because something in her energy pulls him in without a single word spoken. The moment she stops trying to win him is the moment he starts realizing he can lose her. That's when the chase begins. Because what draws a man in isn't noise. It's presence, not pressure. It's peace. And feminine energy? Real feminine energy? It doesn't scream. It doesn't fight. It doesn't perform. It simply is. It's the calm after the storm, the softness that disarms him, the confidence that doesn't beg to be seen. It commands attention simply by existing. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." And there is nothing more brave, nothing more freeing than a woman who decides to return to her softness after being hardened by the world. A woman who understands her power does not come from chasing. It comes from being. Being in her worth, being in her stillness, being in her truth. Think of a rose in bloom. It doesn't move. It doesn't shout. It simply blossoms. And yet, every eye turns toward it. That's what happens when you step into your feminine energy. You don't have to chase his attention. He feels drawn. Because what is rare, what is real, what is rooted in deep self-worth, always gets noticed, always gets desired, always gets pursued. And right now, if he seems distant, if he's pulling away, questioning, hesitating, maybe it's not because you've done too little. Maybe it's because you've done too much. He's not losing interest. He's losing the space to feel desire. A man's desire to chase is born in the presence of a woman who no longer runs after love, but simply allows it to come. And to the woman reading this, this is your moment. The moment you stop shrinking, the moment you stop explaining, the moment you start remembering who you are, not a chaser, not a fixer, not a placeholder, but something he won't find twice. This is the energy that shifts everything. This is what makes him chase. And that, beautiful woman, is the beginning of your reign. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I don't chase, I attract, I receive. And if this message lit something in your heart, like this video and subscribe. We are here creating powerful truths to awaken the queen in you, because you were never meant to beg. You were meant to reign. Number 1. He doesn't crave the woman who does the most. He craves the one who knows she is the most. Have you ever watched a man lose interest the moment a woman starts doing too much, giving too fast, showing up too often, bending just to be seen? And yet the same man turns around and chases a woman who gives him space to wonder. Why? Because he doesn't crave the woman who does the most. He craves the one who knows she is the most. He doesn't chase the one who gives everything up front. He chases the one who knows she is everything. When a woman moves in her feminine energy, there is no need to perform. Her value speaks before she opens her mouth. Her silence carries more weight than words. And the truth is, when she begins to know what she brings to the table, she no longer feels the need to prove it. That's when everything shifts. That's when he feels it, the absence of effort that once chased, now replaced by the quiet confidence of a woman who lets him come to her. A man's desire is awakened not by effort, but by presence. That presence, the one that walks into a room without asking for attention but leaves every head turned, is what triggers the chase. He can't explain it, but he feels it. That deep, rooted energy of a woman who no longer seeks approval. That's what pulls him in. Think of a flame. A flame doesn't follow, it glows. And anything drawn to it must come closer, must feel its warmth, or walk away and miss it. You are that flame. You are not meant to chase love. You are meant to attract it. And feminine energy, that's the spark, that's the pull, that's the quiet power that makes him realize if he doesn't come correct, he doesn't come at all. And this is where it begins, beautiful woman. This is where you stop overgiving. This is where you stop explaining, stop shrinking, stop softening yourself just to fit into a man's comfort zone. This is where you step into what was always yours, the right to be, fully, unapologetically, effortlessly, because you are not here to convince him. You are here to remember who you are. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. I don't prove, I attract, I reign. And if this message touched your heart, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are building an empire for women who no longer chase, because we were never meant to beg, we were born to reign. Number 2. Feminine energy is like gravity. He doesn't know why, but he can't stop being pulled in. Have you ever walked into a room and felt every eye turn, not because you tried, but because your presence pulled everything toward you? That's not magic. That's feminine energy. And when it's real, when it's owned, it works on him like gravity. He doesn't understand it. He doesn't have to. He just feels it in his body, in his chest, in his mind, in the silence that follows after you leave. He starts thinking about you, wanting to call, craving to see you again, and he can't explain why. That's the power you hold when you stop forcing and start being. You see, it's not the loudest woman who owns his attention. It's the one who doesn't need to prove anything, the one who lets her softness speak louder than demands, the one who holds eye contact without blinking, who listens more than she reacts, who isn't in a rush to fill the space. That's what shakes him, not chaos, but calm, not pressure, but presence, not noise, but stillness. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." But here's the twist. When your energy is aligned, you become that retreat. You become the place where his soul feels most alive. And when he feels that pull, he chases it. Not because you chased him, but because you gave him something he didn't even know he needed. Think of the moon. It never begs the ocean to rise. It just exists, in rhythm, in grace, and yet the ocean follows. That's what feminine energy does. It doesn't run, it doesn't explain, it moves with quiet power. And a man who's ready for real love, he feels it, he follows it. He thought you would try harder, he thought you would chase, he thought he had you figured out. But now, he's the one watching, wondering, wishing, and the woman who once ran toward him now moves through the world with grace so powerful it feels unreachable. That's when the desire to chase kicks in. That's when he begins to realize he's not in control anymore. Your energy is. And to every beautiful soul reading this, no, you're not too soft. You're not too emotional. You're not too much. You're exactly what awakens his desire to chase. Not with fear, but with admiration, with need, with reverence. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. My energy attracts effortlessly. We're building something sacred here, not just content, but lessons that change lives. Because, dear woman, you were never meant to beg, you were meant to reign. Number 3. The moment you stop fighting to be seen is the moment he starts fearing you'll disappear. Have you ever felt that moment when you suddenly go quiet, not out of anger, not out of spite, but because you're simply done explaining yourself? That moment right there, that's when he feels it. That's when the fear sets in. Because silence from a woman who once gave her all speaks louder than any argument ever could. The moment you stop trying to be seen is the moment he starts realizing how deeply he misses your presence. That's the trigger. That's the shift. Feminine energy doesn't scream for attention, it removes itself, and in doing so becomes unforgettable. He was used to your effort, your calls, your long messages, your constant need to remind him of who you are and what you offer. But what happens when you don't show up the way he expects? What happens when you stop reaching? That's when the desire to chase is born. Because what used to feel certain now feels distant, and nothing wakes a man up faster than the realization that the woman who once showed up for him daily no longer does. Plato once said, "We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy is when a man is afraid of the light. And right now, he's not afraid of losing just any woman. He's afraid of losing the light, the softness, the warmth, the grace you once gave freely. That light came from your feminine energy, that gentle yet powerful presence that said, 'I'm here, but only as long as I feel cherished.' Think of the moon. It doesn't fight to shine, it simply exists, and still pulls oceans, still controls tides. That's what feminine energy does in a relationship. It doesn't force its place, it simply glows. And in that glow, a man remembers what it felt like to be wanted without needing to beg for it. But the second you stop lighting his world, he realizes the darkness he's in, and that's when the chase begins. And to every woman reading this, stop shrinking, stop proving, stop explaining your value to a man who didn't have the vision to see it the first time. The chase isn't born from pressure, it's born from presence, and then from absence. You don't have to move mountains to make him see you. You only have to move out of the way and let him feel the space you leave behind. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. My silence speaks louder than my effort. We are here, working day and night to deliver the kind of truth that doesn't just heal you, it awakens the queen within you. Because you were never meant to fight for a place. You were meant to reign from one. Number 4. He chases what feels irreplaceable, not what feels available. Have you ever wondered why the more available you are, the less he seems to value your presence? Why the more you try, the more he pulls away? It's not because you aren't enough, it's because your energy feels too easy to reach. And what feels easy? It doesn't ignite desire, it doesn't awaken the fire to chase. A man does not chase what is always within arm's reach. He chases what feels irreplaceable. Because here's a truth many women never hear. Being everywhere for him won't make him want you more. In fact, it does the opposite. He stops seeing your presence as precious. He starts expecting it. And what is expected is rarely appreciated. But the woman who knows her worth, the one who doesn't overextend, doesn't overgive, doesn't over-explain, she becomes unforgettable. Not because she plays games, but because her energy teaches him this. You don't get unlimited access to something that rare. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." And queen, the time you spend over-proving yourself to a man who doesn't recognize your value, that's energy wasted. Instead, pull it back. Let your stillness speak. Let your absence teach. The woman who stops trying to be chosen becomes the one he never stops thinking about. Picture a treasure locked in a glass case, not hidden, but not reachable either. It's there, glowing, waiting, but only for the one who proves he's worthy. That's you. You are not an open book for every hand to flip. You are not background noise. You are not a free sample to be tested and tossed aside. The moment you hold your standard, the moment you stop offering all of you too soon, his instincts switch. He doesn't walk. He runs. He doesn't question. He chases. And lovely woman, this is not about pretending or playing cold. This is about remembering that your energy is a gift, not a favor. A man will only value you as much as you value yourself. He doesn't crave what's always available. He craves what feels like a miracle to hold and a tragedy to lose. Write this in the comments and claim it. I am not replaceable. I am the prize. Queens, let this message be your shift. Like this video and subscribe, because we're working every day to bring you the lessons that remind you were never meant to chase. You were meant to reign. Number 5. When she no longer explains herself, she becomes unforgettable. Have you ever seen a woman fall completely silent? Not out of defeat, but out of power? That silence is louder than any scream. It shakes him. It lingers in his mind. It rewrites everything he thought he understood about her. When she no longer explains herself, she becomes unforgettable. Not because she said less, but because she finally stood in who she was without asking for permission. He used to expect your words. He got used to the explanations, the justifications, the overthinking, the need to be understood. But when your energy changes, when your peace becomes sacred, when your boundaries become quiet, that's when he starts to feel the shift. Because a woman who no longer needs to explain is a woman who has nothing to prove. And that energy triggers a man's deepest desire to chase. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." And queens, your power is not in what he thinks of you. Your power is in how calmly you move without needing to be seen, without having to justify your worth. When you stop over-explaining, you create space. And in that space, he feels the absence. He feels the mystery. He feels the weight of what he might lose. Picture a candle in a dark room. The flame doesn't announce itself. It just glows. It changes the entire space without making a sound. And when that light suddenly vanishes, the darkness feels heavier. That's what happens when your energy pulls back. You don't attack. You don't defend. You detach. And that quiet detachment makes him remember everything he took for granted. Let him sit with the silence. Let him chase the echo of the woman who no longer tries to prove her love. Because the moment you stop explaining, the moment you stop chasing clarity and start owning your calm, you stop being familiar and you start being unforgettable. To the beautiful woman reading this is your rebirth. You don't owe him your words. You don't owe him your explanations. You owe yourself peace. From this moment forward, speak less and reign more. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. My silence is unforgettable. We are working day and night to bring you these powerful, life-changing lessons, because queens don't beg to be understood. Queens are the understanding. Number 6, he doesn't run after the one who waits. He runs after the one who walks away, slowly, gracefully, without drama. He doesn't run after the woman who stays still, hoping. He doesn't feel urgency for the one who waits, begs, or proves. But the moment she turns quietly, the moment she begins to walk away, not in anger, not in fear, but in grace, that's when everything shifts. That's when he feels it, the pull, the panic, the chase. You see, a man doesn't chase pressure. He chases mystery. He chases the one who doesn't need to be chosen to know her worth. Right now, he thinks you're waiting. He thinks he has time. He believes that your softness means you'll still be there tomorrow, next week, maybe even next year. But he has no idea that you've already started walking. No tantrum, no explosion, just distance, just quiet, just energy that no longer reaches for him. And that's what wakes him up. Feminine energy is not loud. It doesn't beg to be understood. It doesn't convince. It simply moves. And when it moves away from him, when it pulls back to protect itself, he feels the shift. He feels the absence of what once felt so warm, so steady. And that absence, that's louder than any argument. That's what haunts him. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." And Queen's calm doesn't mean weakness, it means control. The kind of control that says, "I'm not afraid to let go if it means protecting my peace." That energy, that feminine power, that's what triggers his instinct to pursue. Not the drama, not the chase, but your stillness. Imagine a candlelight in a dark room. It doesn't move, it doesn't beg, it just shines, and yet everything is drawn to it. That is what you are when you step back into yourself. A light he thought he could walk away from, but now realizes he can't live without. Beautiful woman, he underestimated your silence. He thought your softness was weakness, but now every step you take away from him makes his heart race faster. Not because you're running, but because you're done running. And that's the most powerful trigger of all. So, lovely Queen, if this message touches your soul, write this in the comments and claim it. I walk away with grace, and he feels it. Let him feel it in every moment of your absence. We are here, working hard to bring you the truths that awaken your strength, because you were never meant to chase. You were meant to reign. Number 7. He thought she'd chase him forever, until her energy changed, and now he's chasing echoes of the woman who no longer waits. He thought she would always be there. He believed that no matter how far he pulled away, no matter how long he stayed silent, she would still reach out, still explain, still try. He believed her love was endless, her patience unshakable, her energy always waiting. But one day, her energy changed. It didn't scream, it didn't explode. It shifted, quietly, powerfully. And now, he's chasing echoes of the woman who no longer waits. You see, a man doesn't truly feel the weight of a woman's presence until she stops giving it, until the messages stop, until the overthinking ends, until the energy that once fought to stay suddenly lets go. That's when he starts to notice the silence, the peace, the emptiness, and it hits him. He's no longer being chased. He's now doing the chasing. But by then, he's chasing a ghost. Feminine energy is not about pressure. It's not about pursuit. It's about presence. And when that presence pulls back, when the softness no longer shows up for him, he begins to feel the difference between attention and affection, between interest and effort, between being wanted and being chosen. And what once felt so easy now feels impossible to reach. A woman in her feminine power is like a mirror. She reflects, she doesn't chase. The more he tries to touch her without meeting her depth, the more invisible she becomes to him, like trying to hold smoke in his hands. The more he grasps, the more he realizes he lost something he can't recreate. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." And when a woman transforms her thoughts from pain to peace, from proving to preserving, from needing to knowing, everything shifts. Her energy becomes untouchable, and that energy, that's what triggers a man to chase. Not noise, not begging, not even absence. It's the calm certainty that she is no longer waiting. So, dear woman, let him chase shadows. Let him remember what he took for granted. Let him sit with the version of you that no longer exists. Because you've risen, you've stepped back into your essence. And now, you attract, you magnetize, you reign. Queens, write this in the comments and claim it. He's chasing echoes now. I no longer wait. If this message awakened your power, like this video and subscribe. We are here to bring you the truth, the clarity, and the strength you've always held. Your energy is your crown, Queen. And now, it's time to wear it.